When I see my tattoos, I for the most part, I love them because I just feel like I see them as just an extension of my personality, or me. Hi, I'm fashion. Sometimes I model, sometimes I do some painting, do some drawing, make some clothes, make music, DJ, the list goes on. My parents are both immigrants. My dad's from Hong Kong and my mom is from Singapore. So I grew up in a really orthodox, Mormon household. It's like the mainstream Mormon, so it's not like giving, it's not giving like commune and like sister wives. The main things is that, your body's a temple. And so they don't, drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs, don't even drink caffeine, don't have sex, definitely don't tattoo their bodies. Only one set of piercings, but only for girls. It's very, very rigid. When I was 8 years old, I found out that Santa wasn't real. And I think that shook my whole world. And my 8-year-old train of thought was just kind of like, I've been lied to for an extensive period of time. Santa's not real. God must not be real. So that was my 8-year-old critical thought process. And from that point on, I think I was a little sus, I guess, of the Mormon church. As I grew up, I guess I wanted to live my life a lot differently than what was prescribed for me. I'm trans, so obviously that's it's a huge component in this religion are these assigned gender norms and roles and expectations. So, I was supposed to be a boy. And, I kind of fell away from that world. And it was, really intense, but there's still some things that I feel like I kept with me. Like I was saying, Mormons have this obsession or religious doctrine that your body is a temple. And, I feel like I love that idea. And, which is why I feel like I love adornment and I love tattoos. When I was 16, 17, I was at a party with all of my really young punk friends, and they would drink these things called sidewalk slams where they mix Mad Dog in the 40. It's just so disgusting. And one day at a party at 6 a.m, for some reason I was like, okay, I want a tattoo. And my friend, I think, must have been really drunk because it was the most painful thing I ever experienced.
Where was it?
It was on my leg. It said HKBB for Hong Kong baby. It was stupid. And I think from that point, that's when, it happens, is you get one, leads to another, and then becomes an addictive habit that won't stop. My parents wanted to ascribe or assimilate into this culture. And so, they didn't teach me Chinese, and literally so much cultural information was lost within one generation. As a person, I'm estranged from this part of my identity that is so close, but yet so far, I grew up going to Asia, I have so many relatives there. My behavior would be so misconstrued. And my parents wouldn't like prep me, tell me like, oh, these are the customs, like you're supposed to like greet like your relatives like in a certain order. There's like a hierarchy, there's all of these rules and expectations, and then like I don't know because I'm raised in like this American environment. There's constantly this kind of tension, I feel like, with within myself, like I'm trying to like understand like, yeah, this component of me that I'm kind of estranged from or like removed from. For me, obviously, like a way that I can understand things a lot better is like visually, and through like visual art. And Chinese culture is like filled with, a lot of decorative art. Like everything almost is decorated with symbolic motifs. I'm really into like exploring and understanding these symbols. Yeah, I know that translates to my tattoos, I think. Growing up, going to Asia and like going to like Buddhist temples or like Chinese like folk religion or Taoist temples. All of these temples, it's like, it's so vibrant and like filled with color and images like everywhere, painted everywhere, and like shrines and etc. And so that was like super formative for me. And so when I wanted to cover these tattoos, I had like that idea in mind that, my body's a temple, blah, blah, blah. And so I had these food dogs like tattooed on my legs. They guard the entrance to like a Chinese temple usually, to prevent any evil from entering. Which I feel like is like a funny metaphor. Yeah, so that's how it began. And then I think like there was just, one and then two. And then from that point on, I just felt like, everything should be like symmetrical-ish.
When did you decide to tattoo your head?
So these are like both based on different Chinese legends. Princess falls asleep underneath a cherry blossom tree, and a cherry blossom falls on her forehead and leaves an imprint that's like a abstract imprint that's said to enhance her natural beauty. So it was like a cosmetic trend for women to draw these shapes on. And they also would draw like, during the Tang Dynasty, they would draw like all sorts of other shapes. If they were having their period, they would put like 2 dots here, which you can see like on statues of like the sculptures from that time. Like they have some at the Met. But yeah, I don't know. I was also like always obsessed with like the idea of permanent makeup. And so I feel like that's kind of why I was just like, yeah, do it. For me, a way to assert ownership over my body, especially like being like, I've been like really traumatized in life. And so this is kind of a way for me to take back what is like, not necessarily like mine, but like what is mine for a loan at this time, if that makes sense.
If you had to start over, would you do everything the same way you have? Would you do it all over?
No, I would totally do it all over. I have so many different ideas or like concepts of things that like I would love instead. I do actually love like full body suits. Like I don't know anyone who doesn't. But yeah, like I also love just like having like singular, like gigantic images instead of like, for me, I just have like so many like intricate little ones. Sometimes that's like a little annoying.
It sounds more like you just have too many creative ideas for one body to contain.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe like in a few years I can get a clone and then I can start over.